The man counted the cash handed over by the buyer, but in the next moment, he collapsed, dying under strange circumstances. The buyer didn't spend a single cent and still got what he wanted. However, he didn't dare touch the seller's car keys directly. This was because he had poisoned the cash. After the seller finished counting the money, he habitually touched his nose, then handled the car keys. The buyer, cautious, only picked up the keys using a handkerchief. Soon, he located the BMW at the entrance. Inside the car, there was a box. The box contained the most horrifying chemical weapon ever created. Now, his task was to smuggle this item abroad and sell it to arms dealers. But the biggest challenge was how to bypass airport security. No matter what, the scanners would reveal the true contents of the box. So they devised a plan to threaten a security officers. First, they hacked into the airport's surveillance system. Through the footage, they identified the officers operating the scanners. They found his name on his badge. With that name, they quickly uncovered all his personal information. After completing the first step, one of the group's members posed as a traveler. He handed a small earpiece to the officers. The device was so tiny that the officers assumed another passenger had accidentally dropped it. As the officers was about to take the earpiece to Lost and Found, a text message arrived on his phone. It was written in a friendly tone, suggesting he put the earpiece on. Once he did, the terrorists made their threat clear. If they let their luggage pass the scanners unnoticed, his family would remain unharmed. Ethan, the security officers, knew the gravity of the situation. He realized that whatever the terrorists were smuggling could pose a massive threat to passengers. He decided to stall for time by talking casually with the terrorists while secretly dialing the police. But what Ethan didn't know was that his every move was being monitored. Meanwhile, one of the terrorists broke into Ethan's home. There, they found a payslip belonging to his girlfriend. It didn't take long for them to track her down and gather all her personal information. In addition, they discovered a pregnancy test at Ethan's home. His girlfriend was pregnant just as Ethan made the call to the police. The terrorists mentioned his girlfriend's name. They told him their men were aiming a gun at her. If he didn't want the lives to be lost, he needed to hang up immediately. The threat worked perfectly. Ethan quickly ended the call and locked his phone in a drawer, just as instructed. Realizing his initial plan had failed, Ethan had no choice but to think of another way.